Hello friends, in this video I'll tell you how to do certain operations on continuous time unit impulse signal such as time reversal, time scaling as well as time shifting, and again we will see the combined property, that is time scaling and time shifting together. Let us begin. So we need to plot following signals under this a topic of operations on continuous time impulse signal. So first signal that I need to plot is del of minus t. After that I'll plot del of alpha t, then del of minus alpha t, then del of alpha t plus beta, and after that you have del of minus alpha t plus beta. Let us begin. So let us start plotting del of minus t. I'm sure you remember, if we have x of t, how to go for x of minus t. So if we do a time reversal, then we get x of minus t. Is that right? So if I have del of t signal and if I do a time reversal, I'll get del of minus t. But I'll tell you, we know that how delta signal really looks like. But rather to do this operation, I won't be taking the ideal delta signal, I'll be taking a practical delta signal. In fact, a unit impulse signal. So if you remember how unit impulse signal looks like, so this is how a practical unit impulse signal looks like. This is t equal to 0. Let us assume this is minus a by 2. Let us assume this is a by 2. And let us assume the height is 1 by a. This is practical unit impulse signal. We know that it is impulse with area equal to 1, and that's the reason why it is called as a unit impulse signal. And how do we get the area? It's very simple, length into breadth formula. So as you can see, length is 1 by a. This is 1 by a is the length, and the breadth is simply a. Is that right? And therefore, as you can see, area equal to 1, and this is what we called as practical unit impulse signal, having impulse signal with area equal to 1. So now if I say, if this is del of t, okay, if you want to plot del of minus t, then I'm sure now you are able to do this very easily. As you can see, it has got a very symmetric signal with respect to a by 2 and minus a by 2. So even though you shift this right hand side part to left hand side and left hand side part to right hand side part, according to the property of time reversal property, you will still get exactly same characteristic. So again, I'll be getting same characteristic with height equal to 1 by a. This is minus a by 2 and this is a by 2. What does that mean? Del of t and del of minus t appears to be same. So now I'm going to have a very important conclusion. Del of minus t is same as del of t. So time reversal property does not really alter the original delta signal. In fact, you know what? If x of minus t happens to be x of t, such signals are called as even signals. So I can say that del of t signal is a even signal. Of course, we are going to learn what is an even signal and odd signal, but definitely we'll have some idea about even signal. So del of t is an even signal. So with the solution, I have confirmed certain things. That is, del of t is a even signal. So we have done with this part. Del of minus t is always equal to del of t. Let us go next sum, del of alpha t. So the second question says del of alpha t. You know that del of alpha t is what? Actually, you are trying to scale by alpha. So this is scaling by alpha. That is time scaling by alpha. And you know that time scaling by alpha does not alter the height. It is only going to change the width. So let us see. The original del of t signal I'm first of all going to draw. And again, I'm going to deal with practical signals only. So you know that this is minus a by 2 to positive a by 2. In the middle we have 0 and the height is 1 by a. Is that right? So whenever you do scaling, you're multiplying with alpha here. Okay, so you know that we do exactly reverse things. So whenever you have alpha t, you divide by alpha to lower limit as well as upper limit. So what is going to happen? This is going to get divided by alpha, and this is also going to get divided by alpha. Is that right? In effect, can I say this length is now changed? A new length is equal to what? Now it is a by alpha. Is that right? And if I say this is breadth, then this is length. So length is same, only breadth is changed. Length is still 1 by a. So can I say you'll get a new area because breadth is changed, which is how much? It is L into B formula we use. So L is 1 by a and B is B by alpha. In fact, it is A by alpha. So as you can see, A gets cancelled. So new area has become 1 by alpha. You know what? The area is 1 by alpha now, and we'll just leave this apart. I just want you to answer. When I say del of t, how much is the area? We know that we come to know what is the area by its coefficient. If its coefficient is 1, if there is nothing written, then of course coefficient is 1. And if the coefficient is 1, we know that it is an impulse signal with unit area. So in fact, we call that signal as a unit impulse signal. Suppose we have twice of del of t. What does that mean? Twice of del of t is also an impulse signal, but again it is not unit impulse signal, it is impulse signal with area equal to 2. Suppose if I say 1 by 2 del of t, what does that mean? It means that it is an impulse signal with area equal to half. Now, come to the point. Even after scaling, you know that only area is changed, still it is an impulse signal, but with new area which is 1 by alpha. So now I can write del of alpha t is basically an impulse signal only with area equal to 1 by alpha. So this is the final conclusion. Whenever you scale by alpha, area gets changes by 1 by alpha. So del of alpha t is always 1 upon alpha del of t. Let us go on solving the third one. Third one, they are asking you del of minus alpha t. Is that right? So now, suppose if I do this way, if I take, let's say, minus 1 common, what remains inside? It is alpha t only. We know that whenever we are approaching from left to right, we first of all see that we need to do time reversal. And we know that for delta signal, time reversal property does not work. Del of minus t is always del of t only. So I can say that del of minus alpha t would be exactly same as del of alpha t. In that case, we know that for del of alpha t, we get impulse signal only with area equal to 1 by alpha. What does that mean? It means, suppose we have del of alpha t, this is equal to 1 upon alpha del of t, as well as whenever we have del of minus alpha t, this is also equal to 1 upon alpha del of t. What does that mean? Whether alpha is positive or negative, it does not matter. We still get the same conclusion. So now let me put it in a generalized way. I can write like this. Whenever you scale by alpha, that is a delta function, then you always get 1 upon mod of alpha del of t only. So impulse signal is going to remain impulse signal only, but only area gets modified by 1 upon mod of alpha. Is that right? So whether alpha is positive or negative, coefficient of the delta signal remains positive. So I'll just go back to the question. I'll write the final thing for del of alpha t. So we have seen for both, we have got a common conclusion, 1 upon mod of alpha del of t. So this is a very important conclusion I'm telling you. Del of minus t is always del of t, and del of alpha t as well as del of minus alpha t, that is whether you are trying to scale by alpha or minus alpha, you always get 1 upon mod of alpha del of t. Let us go for fourth problem now. Second and third we have already solved. Let us go for fourth, that is del of alpha t plus beta. Now in this problem, what we are going to do, it is del of alpha t plus beta. So we know that what we do first, we try to make t coefficient free. So let us do that. Del of, if I take alpha common, what remains inside? It is t plus beta by alpha. Is that right? So whenever we have such signal, we go from left to right. So first step is what? That is scale by alpha. Is that right? So we know that whenever we scale by alpha, it becomes 1 upon mod of alpha and then the original delta signal. Of course, along with the time shift, you have to write beta by alpha. Is that right? So this becomes a new impulse signal with new area, that is 1 upon mod of alpha. And in fact, now it is quite easy to draw also. So this is theoretical del of t with area equal to 1. In that case, suppose if I want to draw the signal which is stated here, that is 1 upon mod of alpha del of t plus beta by alpha. What we did in step 1, in step 1 we scale by alpha, in step 2 we shift by beta by alpha. So now I'm going to have the delta signal with area as 1 upon mod of alpha and with time duration of minus beta by alpha. Is it right? This becomes a final answer for this. Let us solve one more, which is del of minus alpha t plus beta. Again, let us make t coefficient free. I'm taking minus alpha out, t minus beta by alpha. Again, I'm moving from left to right. In step number 1, we do time reversal. In step 2, we scale by alpha. And step 3, we delay by beta by alpha. This is how we do with normal signals, right? So step number 1 says do time reversal. You know that time reversal does not affect delta signal because delta signal is always the even signal. Therefore, for step number 1, we are going to get what? 1 upon mod of alpha del of t minus beta by alpha only. Is that right? In fact, I have added step 2 also here. Step 2 says scale by alpha. So I have scaled by alpha. You know that after scaling by alpha, it remains impulse signal only. The only thing that area gets changes by 1 upon mod of alpha. And then I have also delayed by beta by alpha. So after incorporating all the steps together, you're going to get this as a final answer. So if I want to draw this signal, I'll be drawing like this. T minus beta by alpha. So I have to plot it at positive beta by alpha. As I said, it is going to remain impulse signal only, but with only area gets modified by 1 upon mod of alpha. So let us write final answers. 1 upon mod of alpha del of t plus beta by alpha, and here 1 upon mod of alpha del of t minus beta by. So this is how we operate impulse signal that is in continuous time. Thank you.